What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the all-new 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser. This one is a 1958 edition, finished in Meteor Shower. MSRP is $62,700. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what is powering the newest Land Cruiser. Significantly different vehicle than the previous generation. So popping the hood, the only engine now is going to be this 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid engine. This is the iForce Max. It has 326 horsepower with 465 pound-feet of torque, paired to an 8-speed automatic and full-time 4-wheel drive. With this configuration, it weighs about 5,000 pounds, can tow about 6,000 pounds. You're also going to notice it'll have a 17.9 gallon fuel tank, and it can do 22 miles per gallon in the city with 25 out on the highway. Taking a look at this rugged trim, this is basically the base model, but completely designed for off-roading. The whole front is going to be just plastic, so black plastic, easy to get dinged up off-road. LED fog lights, parking sensors, nice square mesh to allow cooling, and then a cool round old school design for these LED headlights. You do have the Toyota written out in that old school font, which looks really cool. And you can tell the front's kind of wide. It has a cool boxy look. And then you have some sharp body lines on the hood. It dips lower in the center for better driver visibility when you are hitting the trails. And then at the side, the plastic makes its way into these fender arches to protect the body. We have a set of 18-inch wheels, nice gunmetal gray, and then a set of Nitto Ridge grapplers, 265/65s all around. So a really nice rugged design for those. Nice fender arches as well, sharp body lines, plastic trim up here, and then power folding plastic mirrors with the side LED. You have more of the plastic trim throughout the side with a set of upgraded steps, and then we have the black on the handles, all black surrounding the windows with some nice trim pieces on it, body color up on the roof, and of course we have that boxy rugged look. Similar car as the Lexus GX, this is the more basic version, more off-roady versus luxury. Nice sharp body lines throughout the rear, making its way into the LED taillights, and then we have the integrated spoiler up on top, third brake light, that black trim. You have the wiper blade exposed, and then black plastic trim with Toyota written out in the center with Land Cruiser on the left. Massive plastic rear bumper with your cap for the hitch, parking sensors, mud flaps, got a tow hook underneath that corner, exhaust tip there, spare tires underneath it as well. But overall, it's a pretty sweet looking off-roader. I definitely like that look. For some cool storage, you can pop that and lift this open for easy access into the cargo area. That's a really good touch to see. Not many SUVs have that these days. From there, we can manually press the button and lift that open for all the cargo space. Now, being a hybrid, there is this big step here. However, in the back, you can pop that open. You have just a little bit of extra space. Nice all-weather floor mat back here. It's pretty roomy in here though, nonetheless. It's a high load floor, so if you have a dog, it might be a little challenging to get in here. But nonetheless, not too bad back here, good space. You have some cup holders, since the GX from Lexus will have a third row. No third row in this vehicle. Plug on the right side as well. And then you have grab handles so you can manually close this down. Moving on to the inside. This trim level, like I said, is the base model, so you're just gonna have this rugged fabric. This is designed to be off-roading, not all luxury. The door panel, finished all in plastic, so just basic, nothing special there. And then these seats though, they do have a recline lever. You can recline them quite a lot, and then fold them downwards and upwards, and gives you good access into the cargo space. And once again, there's that bump you can see from the hybrid battery. You can also lock these flatwards down, and that is gonna be really good for extra storage. From here, we can just pull this upwards, and hopping into the back seat now, you are gonna see climate vents back here. We have all the controls, fan speed, temperature, plugs, storage back here. The vents themselves are up on the ceiling with your grab handle. And then pulling the recline lever, these recline quite a lot. And honestly, this is a pretty comfortable back seat. The seats are very flat feeling, very hard, so not much padding to them, but nonetheless, you get the amenities you would want. And it is very, very spacious. At 5'11", I mean, I have plenty of space in here, no big deal. As we make our way into the front seats now, we have the smart key that will lock and unlock it from the grab handle. And then in here, the door panel, finished off the same, all plastic, no padding even on the armrest. Just have some plastic buttons as well. Manual controls for all these seats, the same fabric design making its way up to the headrest. Steering wheel looks awesome though with the black leather. We do have grab handles on both A-pillars, which is nice to see. and then you're gonna see the Toyota name written out. Push button ignition, firing up that hybrid engine. We have controls on the left side, some Bluetooth and audio. We can also use this to control the screen. So if I just go up and down, you're gonna see all sorts of different information that will pop up throughout the center. So I like how you have quite a lot of things. You can see auxiliary gauges, all sorts of different vitals, and it is a full LCD display. So pretty nice to look at, very simple as well. Cruise control settings over on the right side. Volume is this nice toggle. Windshield wiper stalk on the right, turn signals on the left. Automatic high beams, fuel cap, trailer adjustments, one of your air vents, and there is a nice soft touch plastic rubber for the whole dash. So it does feel nice and soft, and then this more on the plastic side with Land Cruiser. Air vents right in the center, and then the smaller multimedia screen, basically everything you're used to in any Toyota. So nothing all too fancy, got your basics on here. The bigger screen will basically do the same thing in addition to more cameras. Going in reverse, you just have a pretty simple backup camera with HD graphics. Air vents down below that, we have heated seats, all of your toggles for dual zone temperature, heated steering wheel, very nicely laid out, and then there's a lot of storage space all down below with some extra plugs. We have our drive mode select. You can just toggle this, sport, normal, and an eco mode. And then we have a few other icons right here, crawl control, downhill assist. We have the park and brake, brake hold, full-time four-wheel drive where you can go into a 4-low, and then we have locking center as well as a rear differential. Nice stitching and padding on this armrest, and then pretty good amount of space in the cubby. Glove box, as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. Overall, it's definitely a very utilitarian spec. The Land Cruiser grade is going to be the one that's more luxurious, of course, with leather options, things like that. This one is for the rugged person who's going to be hitting the trails. We do have a nice mirror with garage door buttons, an integrated dash cam as well, and a pretty cool place to be. So setting off now in the Land Cruiser. Just giving a half throttle in sport mode. This thing is pretty peppy, especially with the hybrid and the turbo integration. That is pretty neat to see what kind of power you get. I can't imagine just fully redlining this thing. It's a pretty neat vehicle to be in. You definitely feel up high. It's really comfortable sitting in here. I like the view out too. You can see those dips in the hood where you can really see down the center of the hood and the farthest corner. So when you're off-roading in this, I feel like it's gonna be a pretty easy vehicle to place. Visibility is pretty decent, honestly. You can see all around. Really no big deal. Even those headrests aren't really in the way or anything. So it's nice to see. Getting back up to speed in normal mode now. I mean, you have a lot of down low power from the electronics, and of course the turbo kicks in higher. So really fun to drive vehicle, honestly. The 8-speed does a really good job managing the power too. And I like how you can use the manual shift mode, and it actually seems to let you shift it. So when you give it some throttle, it shifts when you do it. So nice design to give you that, especially if you are going to do some off-roading or even towing with this. But it's a cool vehicle to be in. The suspension is nice and soft. Of course, that's going to be great for off-roading, just absorbing all the obstacles in the trails. The steering feels nicely weighted. You know, you can tell it's a higher SUV, so obviously fast turns, it's a little wobbly like a Bronco or a Jeep Wrangler. So obviously, you know, this has those on-road characteristics. It has independent front suspension, solid rear axle, but overall, this is very stable and comfortable to drive in. Not really any wind noise or road noise, even with these Ridge Grappler tires. Really solid setup for the tires. The braking works really well. Of course, there is some regenerative braking with the hybrid system, so that'll assist you in it. But I like it. Aside from the plastic armrest, which is kind of a letdown for this price point, other than that, this is really comfortable and nice to be in. The amenities too, everything works really nice and looks really nice. I think I overall like the use of materials aside from the hard plastics, which is again kind of pathetic for 63 grand almost. But overall, I mean, it's nice to drive, it's fun, you know, it feels rugged, it feels like something I just want to hit the trails with and have an absolute blast.